Mabuhay, Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Are you sexy? What women find sexy about men? So take a listen here. This will be the last of 3 videos I'm going to do on the perspective of sexual attraction from women. And we're not really talking about physical attributes so much, although that will get mentioned a time or two today. Just things that, sharing what women think about what is attractive to them. And the reason I do this is because I think a lot of guys feel that, it's through their physical development or their looks or whatever that appeals to women. And it really doesn't. I think at the core of it all, there are certain things that are timeless and stretches across all places about women and what they like in a guy. And because I think I've seen this so many times in other articles that I thought, well, let's just get this out there, and you can make of it what you want. I do think there are some things you can learn from these comments, mainly that if this is something you can add to your arsenal, so to speak, then I think it would be a good idea. So sit back and relax as I show you what over 20 women have to say about what they find sexy about men. It isn't about how much he benches or squats, how big his biceps are, or how well endowed he is. And that's a good thing. Subscribe to Love Beyond, yes, I did say that. Subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea, where we talk about many things, really anything that pertains to having a good relationship and marriage with a Filipina. Ask questions, that's great. Leave comments here or in the community corner message forums. It's going to be linked in the description box. Get notifications for upcoming videos, share and like. I think these videos are probably going to end up in the controversial collection because they seem to have garnered some controversy. So here are some statements written by someone named Jenna Lothert, and I'll link that in the description box. I don't know if there's any pictures with that, but it's these quotes, these comments that are concerning to me that I want to share. So 21 women on what makes a man sexy. So she says she asked 21 women, including herself, and she says the fact that none of the answers had anything to do with physical appearance was very refreshing. And actually, 1 or 2 of them did. So we'll start out. Number 1, Jolene, 33. These are mostly younger women. When they care for you just as much as you care for them, and they actually show it. Now, I've been married to my Filipina wife since May 10th of 2015. She knows I care about her more than anyone else in the world besides God himself, and that's what I'm going to do every day. I try to, whether I feel like it or not, and I show it. I think you should tell your Filipina how much you love her, how much you care about her, and why. But that's just only half of it. I think you really do need to show her, to express in different ways how you care about her, whether it's through non-sexual touch, going somewhere, going on dates, being a good listener, all kinds of things. Just browse through some of my videos and you'll pick up on that. Number 2 comment here is from Justine, 25. What makes a man sexy is his ability to support his partner's dreams and goals and be loyal to her in a supportive manner. There's nothing wrong with this. Loyalty and support is big time. I think there are times when a man can kind of reach the point where he gets the conquest, so to speak. He gets the Filipina or any woman, and then he kind of slows down, and she doesn't quite feel she's pursued the same way, or that he feels about her the same, and something is lacking once the marriage has started. And so I think it is very important to support her dreams and goals. Her dreams and goals doesn't mean that she's going to leave him, never see him again. I tell my wife, what her dreams are and what her goals are. I'm going to try to help her succeed in if it kills me. That's very exciting to me. I don't really care about my goals are her goals. And when she tells me, she's always wanted to do something or see someplace, or, that's what I think about doing. My mistake is sometimes I try to make them too big. It might be bigger than what she had in mind. So I have to make sure that in trying to help her meet her goals, that it doesn't morph into my goals. So I kind of have to keep working with her and say, is this what you want, hon? I want to help you with this, but I don't want to take it, too far. Number 3, this might be Joella or Jolie, 25, a guy who uses eye contact and can hold a conversation. It shows a mature confidence about him, and to me that's extremely sexy, she says. Now, I know when I was younger, eye contact was not easy to do for whatever reason, and I'm sure it didn't make a good impression. So anytime you can practice making eye contact with a woman, maybe somebody at the grocery store, somebody at work, even if you're not interested in them that way, try to build eye contact and learn to hold a conversation, pick up on the things they're saying, ask questions about, why do you like that, and what did you like about that experience, and just try to stretch out a conversation with her, and I think you will look more appealing to a woman. Number 4 from Jenna, 25. Sexy to me is when a man wants to be with you and only you, and is not tempted by anyone or anything that comes along. One who knows what he wants, knows what he has, values it, does anything in his power to never let it slip away. So women want to be desired, and they don't want you texting away with other people. And this goes both ways. Like when you're out on a date, a woman from work told me that the other day when I was asking her what she thought was attractive in a man. And so not looking around when you're out together, not ogling other women, and values her and cherishes her. I mean, what woman wouldn't like that? So I think people are just playing games, are never going to give off that vibe, and women eventually will figure it out. Number 5, Kelly, 26. What she finds sexy in a man with motivation, confidence, and a great sense of humor. You see this a lot, and she distilled it really quick here in one sentence. Motivation, confidence, great sense of humor. Ashley, 28. A man who feels honored to be able to love his lady in return and isn't afraid to show it in front of anyone. Too many people take love for granted. When a man knows that he has and appreciates it, I find that to be very attractive. Now, I did a video on, I know, my goodness, I can't even think of the name of the video, where, touch, displays of affection. Now I can't remember what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about. And where a Filipina is less likely probably to feel comfortable with public displays of affection. I got it. Public displays of affection. Filipina might not appreciate that as much, but there are some women that makes them feel safe, and that he's really into her, and that he's not afraid that everybody else knows it. And that's just something else. If you do find someone, don't be afraid to show her and the world unashamedly that this is someone you care for very much. Now, a more physical thing here. Sarah, 22, likes tattoos, a beard, and dark, mysterious eyes. And well, she's 22, and somebody 52 might like that, but and this is something that the physical characteristics wear off with age. Although men tend to age probably a little bit more gracefully than women. While that may be appealing to her, that's just her, and the most important thing I think is to work on those characteristics that any man can have, regardless of his height, his weight, his jawline, or whether he has hair, or what color his eyes are, and those things that ultimately don't really matter all that much. Dana, 25, says it's sexy to see a man with confidence, and it's also very sexy to see a man caring for children and animals. And that comment was made in the most recent upload. And I think the gist of that type of comment is that, you know, a man that's, strong can show some feelings for, people that are weaker. Children are weaker, and animals are weaker, and often people think, well, they're unimportant, they don't mean anything, and when a guy can show respect and care to anyone, more than just himself or the the woman he's with, I think women find that attractive. Danielle, 22. Now remember, a lot of you guys are like I was interested in a younger woman. So keep in mind these ages. Number 9, a guy who is not afraid to express his raw emotions, fights for his lady, has a good sense of honor, says can't forget a good taste in music. Now some women will say, well, they like to have a little mystery. They don't want to necessarily know everything. So I don't know if that's a contradiction or just a different thing. I know in my case, I do wear my heart on my sleeve, and I find it very simple to talk about deep things. I honestly don't know. That's just easy to do. Fighting for his lady, yeah, I'll kill for my lady. Has a good sense of honor. Those are good things. Those are things that she mentions here. Now, some women, I suppose, would be turned off if a guy showed his raw emotions. But there's a difference between expressing your raw emotions too early, like on a first date. I think what she's getting at is that in general, over time, can express his raw emotions. She doesn't have to beat out from him what he's thinking about. So anyway, that appeals to her, and that would appeal to me too. Music, interesting comment. Good taste in music is subjective, but I think I probably wouldn't marry somebody that wasn't into music. To me, music is a international language, or it's a worldwide language, and if they're not into music, then I wouldn't understand them. Number 10 comment here, a woman named Blakely, a man who is chivalrous and who can be a goofball without worrying what everybody thinks. Now, I happen to agree with that one very much. Me, myself, and I tend to be very intense, and as I get older, I'm 58 now, I realize how unnecessary that is. And it can be hard on your health and your nerves too. I've always admired people that can be less serious, because I am very serious, and I can find that very attractive. Now, some women may find a guy attractive who is very intense and serious. Possible, yes, but I think by and large, somebody that's can laugh at himself, doesn't take things too seriously, is appealing to a woman, and I can see why. As long as he can take care of the things that matter, pay the bills, be responsible, take care of her, be a good listener, and so on. I just think it makes for a longer and better life if you can manage to not take life so seriously. Number 11 from Sam, age 24. What makes a man sexy to me is one who still has old school charm. And after being together for years, excuse me, I am taking codeine now for this nasty cough. After being together for years, still opens every door for me. Oh, and one who rides the lawnmower and cuts the grass. So she's old school charm. Some people say that's gone. Well, not every woman. Some women still. And what does she mean by old school charm? Hard to say, but old school would tend to mean something that is a throwback. Still opens the door for her, and that's probably part of it too. Now, some women don't like that. The other day, I saw someone pulling a big tank at work, very small woman, and the tank was very big, and we have rules about getting help for safety, and it makes sense. And they were struggling with it, and I happened to be there. I said, "Would you like some help? I'm glad to help you." "No, no thanks, no thanks, no help." Well, to me that's a turnoff. It's a small thing, but it's a turnoff. Now, if she had, obviously I'm married, I don't care about dating her, but if she had said, "Oh, sure, yes, I appreciate that," that to me leaves a good impression. But not wanting to accept help or ask for it, that kind of leaves a bad impression to me. Courtney, 27. A kind, true, honest heart who knows how to make a woman feel loved and wanted. Yes, women want to feel loved and wanted. And if you do that, your looks aren't going to matter so much. Your salary isn't going to matter so much. She doesn't want to be with someone that can't make her feel loved and wanted. And that's just a good statement. Brittany, 25. What makes a man sexy is the way he looks a woman in her eyes and pushes that single strand of hair back behind her ear. Christy, 37. The way a man kisses is sexy to me. It says a lot. Reminds me of the song, who was that? Dusty Springfield? Springfield? That doesn't sound quite right. Part of it does. Old song from when I was growing up. It's in his kiss. Well, in his kiss is, nothing but sexual desire, but I guess a woman should be able to know the difference between a lustful kiss and a tender kiss. There's all kinds of ways you can touch that are non-sexual that you should do, and there are probably ways to kiss that are in a way non-sexual, but they send a message that she's really you really care about her, and that's a good thing, and I do agree with that. There's lots of ways to make an impression with the way you kiss. Anne, 31. I find dark hair and a 5 o'clock shadow very sexy. Overall, I'd say ambition, intelligence, old school values, and the kind of guy that makes you feel safe and protected. I like the 5 o'clock shadow comment. I wish I had always 5 o'clock shadow, but hair turns gray and doesn't grow as well. Maybe as we get older, that kind of sucks. And dark hair, not everybody has anything to do with that. But the thing is, a lot of these qualities here have nothing to do with physical appearance. That's why it can appeal to you, and it's something that you can learn from. So old school values again. Ambition is always very attractive to a woman. Intelligence, kind of guy that makes you feel safe and protected. So you really got to be into her, and she likes that. Brenda, 32, getting some older ages now. To me, what makes a man sexy is his, surprise, sense of humor. I honestly care more about whether a guy can make me laugh than his looks. Someone who doesn't just take life too seriously and has the ability to laugh at ridiculous or stressful situations. If you can make me laugh, your sexiness skyrockets. Do you guys agree with that? Jess, 34. Intelligence makes a man sexy in my book. Laura, 38. Nice eyes always seem to pull me in, but if someone's soul is pure, that's the sexiest of all. Dana, 26. A sexy man is one who can make a woman laugh like there's no tomorrow. Make her feel like she can be herself. Very important. Even at her worst. Also, one who often surprises her, whether it be learning something new about him that makes your attraction for him stronger, or something as simple as receiving flowers. The smallest surprises bring the biggest smiles. That is a sexy man. And sometimes I think the laughing gets a little out of line. But again, I'm not a woman, okay? And I tend to be on the serious side. But women like a man that can make them laugh. That's all I'm saying here. and make her feel like she can be herself even at her worst. I love that comment because I think that's really important. When you get married, that's your wife, that's your partner, that's your companion, and you should do everything you can to make her feel like she's the only one you care about. And even at her worst, you're still there. You're not going anywhere. You're going to support her. When a woman knows that she can misbehave, she can do things she knows wrong, say things she knows are wrong, but she knows you're still going to be there because you understand that she's wrong and she'll apologize and she can be herself. She doesn't have to walk on eggshells. She doesn't have to be on pins and needles. This makes her feel safe and secure, and that's a form of security that we often don't talk about. We talk about financial security, but her being secure with you because she knows she doesn't have to be perfect. That is very sexy for a woman. Surprises and so on. I know my wife likes surprises, and unfortunately, I'm not the best at giving those. So you see, for my wife, that is something I need to do a better job of. Number 20 here, two more comments. Lynn, 49, says, loyalty is incredibly sexy, and so is honesty. Can you be loyal? Can you be honest? This woman and many others find that sexy. And last one here, Noel, 41. A sexy man is someone who is not afraid to show his lady that he cares for her by doing the little things. Opening doors, carrying her over rain puddles so she doesn't ruin her new shoes, cooking dinner. These things exude sex appeal. So, comments? Let's hear them. I think these are just pretty innocuous comments, and I do have one more. I should have mentioned this earlier. I forgot. One more on this. It's going to come from a man's perspective, and some of you may not like that either, but it's from a married man's perspective, not mine. That video will be coming up soon, I think, and it will all kind of wrap this all together into one playlist. So comments, let's hear them, and if you can do some of these things, you might as well try to major on them. I haven't talked to my wife about this, but I must be doing okay with my love beyond the sea.